Hello everyone, and I've just got the cat settled. I hear the cat collar rattling, but we're going to try Title Tuesday, which is going to start in 50 seconds. I haven't played one of these for ages. I don't know how far through we'll get. Will we actually play every single round? Well, I hope so. And it's a tournament where it's 3 minutes plus 2 seconds move. Make sure you like and do that subscribing stuff. And thank you all for your support. It's very much appreciated. Yeah, it is. So thank you. And I mean that. Okay, so hopefully everything is set up. And yeah, the players, as always in Title Tuesday, it's incredibly strong. And you can see we've got Hikaru at the top, Nihal Sarin, MVL, Dubov, Aronian. It's like a who's who of the top players in the world. So it's a cool tournament. And we're in with a game. So I have played Alexandra before. She's also a very good streamer. Seems like a really lovely person as well. And I will struggle in the first round. So let's see how the play's going to be. Do I like the board? This is a dilemma. The colour of the board? I think so. I had to race to get it here in time to do this. But I'm going to do my normal Dutch. I love a bit of Dutch. I love a bit of the Dutch. With the queen trying to move its way over here and checkmate on h2. I'm crude. I don't have any subtlety. And that is my plan. Now I'm going to offer this little pawn over here. Not for long though. Because it's probably a really bad gambit. But I love a gambit as well. I love it when a plan comes together. And here we go. We're just going to swing this beast over to h5. And maybe f4 is a good move with quite an interesting position. I like having my queen over on the king side where it hovers with intent. I don't know. Sound like a Andrew Tate kind of person, don't you? Hovering with intent. Is that good or bad? I'll let you decide. And the queen is coming over, and okay, so Alexandra's pushing in the middle. Maybe this move's coming next. Am I worried about that one? Trying to undermine my position. I think I can take here and take there. I don't know. Let's. I don't know. Well, do we even flick? I think maybe we can flick this one in now because I'm going to get my bishop to h3. Which seems like quite a decent square. I don't really like swapping off this knight normally because I love bringing it in to g4 with a bit of oomph. But this seems like quite a natural idea, doesn't it? Just to have to be very careful. If Alexandra's knight wasn't there, there'd be a queen there winning, but it is there, so I think we're okay. And now. Is it time to bring the queen in? Then knight c3, bishop g4 is one way to play. Let's do it. Knight c3. I think white really wants to exchange queens. I mean, I could exchange queens there. Rook takes here, and it's going to be quite an even game then. But it's a bit boring, isn't it? So if knight goes here, can I keep the queens on? Well, it's going to get very, I don't know, bishop here, queen b3, and I've got quite a lot of problems over here. And that's where you need a knight, you know, to jump into g4. And I don't have that. Now, this is a very ambitious move from Alexandra. Not sure if that really is a great idea. Bishop g4 now, but I really want to have my knight coming in. But this is very, very slow. Bishop g4, rook f2, then maybe I can take here. Am I worried? I mean, I love the idea of exchanging light square bishops. It weakens my opponent's king, but maybe this is just winning a pawn. Okay, this is putting pressure on immediately. Now, this is a very nasty pin on the knight. And if that knight is defended with a rook, I think I can flick in this move, because what does Alexandra capture with? If she captures with the queen, bishop takes here, but then maybe it's a queen e4, attacking both my bishops. Knight takes is clearly out of the agenda. I'd love to have this knight develop somewhere, but you know, you can't always have everything in life, can you? As I'm well realizing. Happy with what we've got. And yeah, I tried to do this like no drinking in January, but I lasted about an hour. No, I lasted like a week. Okay, so she played this very interesting move. Yeah, I mean, so bishop takes here, queen e4, and that kind of looks alright. I think. I mean, I'm just gonna develop. Where do I develop my knight to? Here, because my pieces are quite active. This gives ideas. A knight b4 coming to c2, d5, bishop c5, and also I love coordinating all of my pieces, and bringing a rook to e8 where both my rooks are lined up seems quite good. Bishop takes e2 is just always hovering there, but if the knight now comes to c3, I love something aggressive like c5. Sorry, d5. The idea of flicking my bishop to c5. Now, I did have this rule. I was only going to drink on Fridays, Freaky Fridays, but I've broken out a bit this week. I just got a bit bored, you know. And it's good for the health, isn't it? Doing a lot of exercise recently. Mainly actually doing trying to do some boxing, which I'm finding very good for the mind. Okay, so we're going to go for this anyway, because bishop c5 is a very annoying move, and my pieces are actually really coming to life here, and Alexandra's time is slipping away here. Now, do we get a bit cheeky and flick that one in first? Is there any benefit of that? Well, I don't know. It may probably not, because and now we go here. The only benefit I can see is that I come in with a tempo. Now, Alexandra's one idea is to checkmate me there. So let's not fall for any cheap stuff like that. And okay, there's resignations. I'm not going to fall for that little checkmate. Reasonably smooth first game. What do you reckon on the game review? What are we going to get here? What is it going to be? I'm going to go for a solid 85 percentage. And okay, look at that. It's pretty close. 86. And if we look at the graph, you know, we're pretty even for a long way. I guess my experience in the Dutch really helped me. And you can see around this point, things started to slip quite badly. So this was maybe the key point here. And actually, okay, this is apparently a mistake here. Now, why is that a mistake? Well, let's have a look at the analysis and find out. Because the knight c3. Well, I thought knight c3 was definitely the best move. White really wants to be swapping queens in these positions because the white king's a little bit weak. Instead of moving that there, I mean, taking on g2 and then coming with queen f7 actually was quite a crafty idea. Bringing my queen into these squares. That would have, yeah, indeed made a lot of sense. The computer doesn't like a lot of my moves. It doesn't like d5. That's surprising. d5 just looks like a good move, but maybe they're, I don't know, why doesn't it like d5? I thought this was just really good for me because it reckons there's always a knight d4, and this is just a case. I mean, I'm still doing okay here. I have loads of play, but this is just a case of double blindness. It really is. And what I mean by that is, like, I just totally forgot that white can block my bishop with knight d4, because I assume that knight was always timed down, but it's not. And I think Alexandra must have missed this move as well. I mean, I've got loads of play here. As the computer recommends, we can bring another piece in. This is my plan, but I'm sacrificing here. And what happens after this move, for example? Well, then we switch to a pin. But this is certainly not as clear as day. It's more as clear as a foggy, polluted background with some Tata Steel steam being pumped up into the environment. Very foggy. So anyway, that it's nice to start with a win in the Dutch, because you know it is my favourite opening, the Dutch defence. I mean, is it entirely sound, the Dutch? Probably not. I always play it. It's got me to Grandmaster strength, so I don't think you need to worry. It's loads of fun to play. It's a really hard opening to learn. That is one thing I do want to get across. You know, the Dutch is not an easy opening, especially the classical Dutch. The Stonewall Dutch is really much easier to learn, but the classical Dutch, it has so many subtleties, and you have to. But that is for both sides. You know, if you understand the intricate ideas, you can have some really fun games by bringing the queen over here and just pushing for the mate. So it does have its positives. And there's still not many people who play it, which is always a benefit. I don't know what the trend is of following what everyone else does and copying the most popular openings, because people know them better. I mean, surely you should be looking at stuff that people don't know as well, because they don't know how to play against it. Try and look for the irregular openings. But it's a tough opening to learn, so it won't be for everyone's cup of tea. Something like the Jabava London, on the other hand, is a really easy opening to learn. I mean, that's why I really like Jabava London. I mean, it's simple to learn, simple ideas. I mean, obviously chess is not a simple game, so nothing is completely simple, but it's as simple as you're gonna get, right? So yeah. Another thing I would appreciate, you know, looking at doing things with GingerGM, trying to find some work there. So if you've got any suggestions of how to improve GingerGM, then do email the GingerGM email, which is like simon@gingergm.com, something like that, or leave some comments below. Okay, we're playing the blue pill, who's only a 2272 IM, but be careful of these people is one thing I've learned, right? They can be very dangerous. You never, I mean, maybe he got wasted last night, drunk a bottle of vodka, you know, drunk another bottle of vodka, did some leg dancing and passed out, and didn't realise he played 200 games of chess and lost 1,000 rating points. I can see that happening. Can you not see that happening? Talking about the Jabava London, let's put it on the board, shall we? This is a variation. Again, I can't always remember the theory, but we don't care about that. I'll go here because it looks very normal, just to push. I do remember when I was younger, I was living with some friends on the settee. I was very skint, and living on the settee, and I was playing a bit. I was getting into a bit of poker, and I was playing poker online, and I just come back from commentating at the Gibraltar competition, so I managed to get a bit of money from work there, and I brought back from Gibraltar, it's tax-free, a bottle of Putin, not Vladimir, not that not gentle. You can't even call him a gentleman, psychopath, shall we say? I don't know. Who knows? I'm not going to get involved in politics. No. And I brought back this bottle of Putin, which is basically like 90% like fire. And I thought, oh, you know, I'll play a little bit of poker on the computer, which is in the lounge. I had about 4 mates were living there, and I thought I'll play a little bit of poker, have a little bit of Putin. What can go wrong? A lot can go wrong. So I had this vodka. I took a Putin, and I took one sip. It's made from potatoes, so I don't know. Let's just castle, just develop. And it was the most disgustingly foul thing that you could ever imagine. So I had to get the Coke out, Coca-Cola, and do a bit of a mixer. And we mixed it up. We mixed it up. I mixed it up, and I started playing poker. And I next thing I know, I wake up in the morning on the floor, probably like half clothed or some madness. Do we take here now? Or do we take the knight? Oh, I love some nice decisions. Let's do this one. Now, if he takes, I have this check. This is what happens when you leave your king in the middle. And I woke up in the morning, my mates were going to work, and I was just passed out. I couldn't remember anything. This is like when I'm 19 or something. In an absolute shocking state. And oh my god, I checked my I've got to think here actually, it's a bit annoying. I had to check I had a credit card at the time, and oh my words, yeah, you know where this story's going, don't you? I'd literally spanked up a couple of grand on this credit card, which I didn't have. And yeah, not really most responsible gambling. Let's just say that, shall we? No, it wasn't responsible, was it, Simon? No. Anyway, back to the game. No, I thought I had a good position here, but he's kind of like hanging on, isn't he? So are we gonna? We want to bust him open, but this one takes. I'm wondering how these combinations are going. Takes rook f1. I don't know. I mean, it should be takes check. It's a bit risky playing like that. It's probably winning, but can I be a bit more subtle about this? Okay, what about here? I don't know. Maybe this was the way to play it. It feels like I'm not punishing him as much as can be. This position is obviously fantastic for me because this bishop is a beast, and I'm a pawn up and shit like that. But it feels like it could be even better, right? Now I'm going to come here, but I kind of, yeah, see, I'm sort of allowing him to do a little bit of escaping here. A little bit. The position is still clearly beautiful. His rook is not cool. Now, do we come in here? Bishop f6. This check come here. Okay, I think this is still good. I mean, my original option was just to grab a pawn and play this, but this seems more to the point. And if you go, okay, so here I was thinking he's in zugzwang, as in he can't move these two pieces, but he can. No, he can't. He hasn't got anywhere to move this either. Now he wants to come here. This is very important to always think what your opponent's going to do. So if we swing this over here to give ourselves the option of a back spanker, he can't move his bishop because I take on g7. He can't move his rook. He can't move this rook. And one plan is to actually just come here. Now, let's make sure I don't get... I'll play a3. Yeah, let's just make sure nothing naughty happens to me on the back rank. And he's really in a position of helplessness here. So I'm going to try and come into f7. He can only move his rook. Okay, the other thing I could do here, actually, I was just thinking, is do the Nigel King short walk and bring the king up the board to try and do some stuff. So yeah, I mean, probably pretty smooth, but maybe I had a clearer win there. Place your bets. We're on 2 out of 2. Can you Adam and Eve it? I've always preferred the red pills than the blue pills. Well, I know it's like take the red pill. I was in a cinema watching Matrix. Obviously, that's where it comes from. You had the blue pill. You take the blue pill, and life remains an illusion, which I think most life is. Comfortable illusion. Well, you take the red pill, and you see the truth, which is painful. And I remember in the cinema, someone just shouted, "Double drop!" Bloody cinemas, eh? But I think it's the red pill that makes you see reality, and that's what is it Nero, whatever his name is, Keanu drops in the end to see reality. I think we might be in a simulation. I don't know. I think it's definitely a possibility. We could be in the Matrix. And let's just see. Okay, what accuracy do you think I've got here? All right. Well, we were like 81.8, and whoa! I really made it drop around here, didn't I? Wow. What did I allow him back in? That's a mistake, is it? Why is that a mistake? What can my opponent have played here? Doesn't look like a mistake. Maybe bishop f6, but then I thought I'd take, go rook e1, h4, here, h3. Is that only a draw, maybe? Is that only a draw? I don't know. Let's have a look at analysis, shall we? And I'm opening up many screens here, but let's just have a look. I mean, I must have missed an easier win, but that was the Jabava London in action. And well, this looked fantastic, didn't it? I mean, but where was the easier win? I mean, this position is... Oh, we got... Oh, no. Hang on, what's going on? Okay, the game should pop up somewhere, shouldn't it? My next game. And around here... well, I wanted to break through, and F5, it does give F5. Ah, it's my... See, you often just got to go with your gut instinct. So I saw this F5 move when I think the following variation is forced. Takes here. He can't go G6 because I take here. He's got to defend with a queen. And now I wanted to go rook takes here, give this one up. And I thought he'd take here. And we've given him 2 rooks for the queen. And I said, oh, it's a little bit risky. It's not really that risky at all, because the coordination of his pieces is horrific. I mean, he can't, again, coordinate. And this, yeah, you got to go for instinct. And maybe it's just my vision is not as good as a lot of players, because my queen's coming in. If he can get his rooks connected, then he could be better. But he's never going to achieve that with this combination of pieces coming in. So should have really gone with instinct there. But still, we're on to add 2, which is nice, isn't it? Makes a change. And we're in now, and we're going to be playing someone pretty good. And this is Alexenko. Is that right? Alexenko? I think he played in the candidates. Originally from Russia. Moved over to Austria. You see the way I said that very slowly. During well, the atrocities that are happening in Russia, and he's a damn good player. So this is going to be tough. But we've got a dragon, and in the Sicilian generally you go for the C4 square. Now, am I worried about this pawn here? Maybe that's a bit wimpish. Now here, I don't know if I go forwards, but at least I get that square. Now this one is obviously an idea. So can we do this? I've got C4. But the whole point of these Sicilian positions is you want to get your knight to the C4 square. You know, if I can play these 2 moves, you know, imagine that knight slipping in there. It can be quite nice. That's as far as I know. And again, my theory is very rusty at the moment. I don't really look at chess anymore. I don't follow any chess, look at chess. You know, I have to be motivated to do it. And when I do, I kind of look at my own stuff. So I'm looking at the Reti at the moment, just because I'm finding that quite interesting, actually. But I don't really follow modern games, maybe as much as I should do. Okay, so his bishop's just dropping back. Now, is this a move that I want to play? I mean, it's a very normal move in the position to come here. I think this is like an extra safe move for Alexenko, just guarding things up. Now, he's waiting for me to play this move, which I'm kind of like, okay, do we go maybe here? This is a useful move generally. Okay, let's play it. I kind of feel like he's been waiting for me to do this, and I don't want to do it because I'm falling into something. But we can't be too scared now, can we? Okay, now this is a square that we often want. I probably will eliminate this piece because it's a strong piece. And maybe I want to get my other knight over to A4 in this position, potentially. Slip that one in. Okay, he's taken him to pawn. Expected him to take with something else here. And, okay, the fight goes on, right? So, okay, well, I do actually like this. Oh, okay, I'm allowing this one, which I kind of just realised. I should have been more cautious about this. I'm going to try to start moving a bit quicker. Now, if he goes here, can I Do I have many tactics? I mean, maybe e6. That knight sitting there is a real pain. I mean, moving my knight here is playable, right? I think. But then his knight comes in. Are we going to go for this move? Okay, well, I'm thinking too much. And... ooh, okay. That's a horrible square here that I'm giving away, isn't it? But what else can I do? Okay. Okay, let's try to shore up the position. G4 now. Maybe I'll sacrifice something if I can. Should I be... is there anything happening over here? It's still quite a complex position, this. I mean... I say that and I'm struggling to find a move. No. Here. Get out of the checks. Here, he's going to take there and go for mate. This knight coming back. Okay, I've got to move quicker. I'm moving far too slow. This rook, is it on the right square? That's the problem with these great players. They okay, knight here is what I want. They just think quicker. I don't like this square, but we're coming in with the idea of trying to open up a way over here. This knight is obviously horrendous, but I did that move to try and generate some activities, which I haven't really done, have I? It's just a check, and he's coming in here with a bigger check. So Shiza. Okay. What's happening? Still some chances. It's a bit messy, the position. It's a bit messy, and I don't mind mess. My life is often just one big mess. And now he's trying to checkmate me. The bastard. Good move. These players. Oh, shite. Didn't see that one. Okay, but oh, and he's coming through there. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone, man. Okay, that's probably it, isn't it? Well played from my opponent. Taking this one. Okay, well, we're yeah, I mean, I'm also the exchange down, so this knight a3, that was a bad square for the knight. Definitely a bad square, and well, taking here, I probably resign, don't I? I mean, I'm playing it on because why not? And my opponent's doing the right thing. He's taking his time to think about what to do. And whatever he's doing a good job. The endings are all winning for him. Only chance I've got is to get my queen in, but I mean it's hopeless. It's a hopeless situation. Only I think he can do this. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? We'll resign. Okay, well played to my opponent. Did I have any chances there? I mean, my position was okay, wasn't it? But just okay. Probably no more than just okay. And it doesn't look like I really have many chances. It starts to go wrong quite quickly from this moment. So actually, when I did the thematic plan, it starts to go wrong. So even though my opponent was waiting for this, knight coming to c4 was a mistake. Wow. How else do you play this position though? This is one of those ones where you know, I could have done with well, you can always do a bit more time on the clock, can't you? Let's have a look. Let's go back a little bit. So around here, I think my position is fine. No problems whatsoever. I'm not taking... The computer reckons that I should take on c3, and the computer can fuck right off. Stupid idiot. I'm not giving up this baby. This is like bishop numero uno. I'm not... It's basically, if you get rid of this, you're basically saying, come on, come and kill me. No, computer, you don't know. But what should we do here? So this moving the knight didn't seem right, but maybe I should be keeping this knight here. I know this is the normal plan, but the computer says no. Well, okay, let's have a look. How bad was it around here? So something with b4 and even a5 makes more sense, right? Computer thinks I should flick this one in first, and then go b4 and then a5. Yeah, that looks quite attractive now, doesn't it? Because there's also a2s on pre. Just use the pawns. You don't need to use the pieces. But this proved to be not right, and maybe taking here was a big mistake because I kind of forgot about my opponent's knight coming to c6. This is the one thing I've got to avoid, and as soon as my opponent gets this move in, I feel like I'm struggling, and I realised I kind of forgot about this nice c6 idea. So I should have done something before to stop this idea. Do we have any chances later on? I don't think there were any great chances. My opponent played very well. G4, the move I thought was a good move, and I kind of can't do anything. I want to lock things down with h5, but then he's going to take there and he's going to kill my king again. So I found this idea of now my knight on a3, it's just not a good square. I need to keep it more centralized. I thought gaining tempo is important, but this move just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's just a lame move, but it's just a tricky position to play this. Actually, it doesn't look that bad for me, but it's just a bit tricky. Yeah, I need to play this one. But after here, well, yeah, I don't have a follow-up. I mean, my pieces aren't good enough. I've only got one active piece, so there's no way such a move should work when you've only got one active piece. All right, but well played. Okay, we're in with another game straight away, which is good, because if we win this, we can get to 3 out of 4. Now, you can buy my GingerGM London, my latest GingerGM London course that I did with Blair, GingerGM.com. So go and buy it. It's got raving reviews. Apparently a bloody good course. And we're playing another Russian, I figure. And let's flick in a tromp him up. And now I'm going to switch to the Tory attack. I quite like the Tory. This move always annoys me though, funnily enough. Okay, I'm gonna just take the center. I'm not as attached to my bishops as a lot of people are. People can get very attached to their bishops. I mean, I'm more of a knight lover than a bishop lover. Are you a knight lover or a bishop lover? I'm a lover of the knight. Looks like I'm gonna break out in the song scene, which I'm not going to do. Now here, my pawns are getting quite extended, but let's do it because it's the most aggressive move, and it's nice to be aggressive. Because I don't want him playing e5. My positional plan is to make this bishop, and therefore his position, bad. Now he's offering this pawn here. Bishop d3 takes there. Rook g1 takes here. Rook g3, queen h5. I mean, that looks very tempting. Here, okay. Okay, well, I can't resist this, can I, as well? Bishop there was very interesting. Takes rook g1, queen h3. I'm hoping this move, and then bishop... Was that working? The other idea I'm obviously going for is h5, just harass the queen. Queen here, bishop d3. Queen here, rook h4. So this is quite an annoying move to deal with. If he goes h5, bishop d3 takes. His queen is so close to being lost. Queen h3. This is where... Here, check. I mean, I could just go queen e2 and castles. My pieces, my development is great. So yeah, so I'm happy to do that. But after this move, he wants to put his queen here now. Now bishop d3 here again. Or do I play this first? because now rook here is not available to me. I think we're going to go here. We don't mind giving up the g2 pawn because I'm going to get great development, and worst case I'm flicking my pieces through. Maybe h4 was better though, because if he'd have gone queen there, I had takes there. Whoa, I did not expect that. That looks so loose. Now takes. Okay, I'm going to keep the position open for tactical opportunities. And now we've got to stop him playing e5. It resembles actually a Dutch defense. So I'm going to go for queenside castling, because then everything's coordinated. h5, interesting. Knight e4 was interesting. So he's trying to come here. So I'm going to now play knight e4 so I can shore up with c3 to stop his knight. I don't want to lose this bishop. This bishop is fantastic. It's a real beautiful piece. Now this is clever because he's created a little weakness here, but we're going to play this anyway. What I mean is when he castles, he's going to gain a useful tempo attacking my knight. So his queen has to go back to f7 now. I don't know why he's thinking there. Now, is there anything better? I mean, this one, he castles. I think we go here. And after castles, maybe I even move my knight back to e2. I don't want him playing... Actually, this move is scary. I said I don't want to allow this one. Can he play that move? I think I take it. I go knight takes d6 because his king's too weak. Because the point is here and his bishop flies in. So actually, I'm a little bit worried that you can castle knight d2, e5, takes bishop g4, but then queen e4, threatening checkmate on h7, and it's okay. Right, so that's a rather passive move from my opponent. Now, I think this knight should come back. I think this knight should come back anyway. I want to defend f3. I want to have queen e4. And he's going to castle that way. Okay. Alright, that's annoying. I maybe should have played this move earlier to force him to castle kingside. So his position is not that bad. But I have more space, but I'm now not gonna kill him quickly, which I felt like was on the cards. This is now going to be a slower game. I've got more space. His pieces are crumbled. I don't want to. Generally, you don't want to swap pieces if you have more space. Hence why I'm keeping these bishops on the board, and I got more time, so I don't want to exchange pieces. I mean, okay. I mean, if he exchanges there, I get rid of that bishop, and we've got to again try to stop him breaking with e5. So we're clamping, trying to clamp on this pawn for now. Let's make the king a little bit safer, hopefully. And I'd love to get my rook to e3, right? So, and where does my knight deserve to go? Well, let's get the rook to e3, just increasing some... Oh, his knight comes in here. This is a bit annoying. Okay, well, obviously we don't want to draw here. Exchanges I don't want to do, but I'm now got this pressure. That is a lovely square now, and this is looking really good. Look at the dark squares. I've got complete control of the dark squares. Giving them an open file, and that's giving him a little bit of counterplay, which I didn't need to do. So I'm just going to swap off. I'm not sure I like what I'm doing here. He's got queen h2. Now his bishop can't move, and I'm going to try to trap it. So he has to play that. Fuck. Let's just try to queen a pawn. He's quick, isn't he? And the eagle has landed. Just don't lose on time. There's no stalemates here. Okay. All right. Well, I'm not sure about that game. I mean, I think I kept control for most of it, so I think it was all right. But it got a little bit random at the end there. I probably dropped my advantage somewhere. But the opening worked pretty well. His queen moved around too much. I think moving his queen over to g6 was asking for it, really. I mean, it's really sort of like, come on, come and get me move. But I could have probably won that better. So we're actually on 3 out of 4. It's a pretty good score. And there's generally a break now to test for cheaters. So let's just have a look. I think, again, 80s. I'm doing 80s. So as you can see, I was always better there. Except, yeah, I thought I lost control at one moment. Definitely around here, I'm losing control. Wow, actually, I'm losing control here. That surprised me. I thought this was a good move. We're both short of time, so that was the one moment where I lost control. That's interesting. But let's just. I don't really like that game review anyway. It's just maybe interesting to see what. Well, I don't know why it's interesting. It's not interesting, is it really? But now, why is it not? I don't want. Where's the normal analysis? Anyway, this looked great for me, and I think the first little mistake I should have done here is I should probably play h5, because I think h5 forces his king to go on this side of the board. I don't need to necessarily play it in this position, but like here, h5, because I'm basically threatening bishop g6. So if I put the pawn on h5, I have tactics like knight takes d6, bishop g6. So h5 forces his king to castle, and then his king is always susceptible to my queen coming to h7. So this was a big miss, actually, because when I come here, now he castles the other way, and his king is safe. I mean, he's certainly worse here because I have a little bit more space, but he's also very solid. So there's nothing clear cut. And I try to push his queen to a bad square. We do a bit of maneuvering. I don't even know if I should have allowed the exchange of bishop, but I wanted to keep my time advantage. This keeps a grip on e5, and he does have this weakness here. I don't have a weakness at all. There's no squares in my position where I'm struggling, so I must be better here. And now we maneuver around a lot. I just try to get my rook to the half open file. There it is. And then this is a big mistake on his part because his bishop is forever dead. This is, as soon as he played this, I'm like, right, I'm going to win this one. Just check the game as it started, because he really needs to have the opportunity of playing e5 and getting his bishop out. As soon as he goes here, there's so many problems. Number one, any endings, his pawns are locked on light squares. I've got a light square bishop. His bishop can now never get past this pawn. It's not going to get out any other way. So his bishop is dead, and that was actually the problem for the rest of the game. He's also still got this permanent issue here. Now, I think g5 is all right, but I was a little bit annoyed that I allowed his rook to come in. And I think I can be a bit more patient here. Because as soon as I do this, you know, he does get an inkling of counterplay. And here, queen h2 started to scare me. So I went to this square, and we get this ending, and it must be losing to him because of the bishop. And I even said, if you remember, right in the opening part of the game, my strategy on move 4 was to play against his light square bishop. And sometimes you can have a positional strategy, and you know, as long as you play all the tactics right, that positional strategy from move 4 will win you the game. And this actually has been the strategy here, playing against that bishop. And now, well, king d7. Okay, we both missed that rather simple move, didn't we? So you only move to save him, and the game goes on after that one. Okay, interesting. And the positional strategy I was talking about is that as soon as he played the move c6, I think he should have played e5 here, because then his bishop's all right. It's like, right, well, that's actually also blocking the bishop coming ever out on this diagonal. This pawn is blocking the bishop there. So if I put a lump there, forevermore, that was the Raven. Good, great little Edgar Allan Poe, the Raven. Even though he's done better horror things than the Raven. Evermore. Sorry, I'm digressing. But this move is cramping his style, right? And now his queen should definitely come back, and you can see the strategy work. We're playing against this bishop forever, you know, combining it with other ideas as well. Now the computer does say I can give this pawn up, but I didn't see what to do here. Just take on d6. Okay, it looks like this queen should be trapped. But if I go here, he is getting away there. So there's no obvious way to win it, but of course there should be a way. All right, so we're on 3 out of 4. Let's have a look how who's doing what. Who's on 4 out of 4? Where is Hikaru? Can't see his name, but you got other great players. Bjortnik. I'm butchering people's names. I mean, you just have a look. Aronian. Wesley So, there's Hikaru Nakamura, and we're on the 4 out of 5 group. 707 players still playing, so that's a lot of players, and we're up there now. Is Kramnik playing? I would absolutely love to play Kramnik. Wouldn't anyone? It'd be an honor. Imagine beating Kramnik and getting an accuracy rating of over 90%. That would be like my dream come true. I don't want to win the World Championships. I don't want to, you know, do anything else, win the British Championships. I want to beat Kramnik, get a high accuracy rating, and then I want to see him infer about the cheating allegations. Where's my name, by the way? We've got to keep scrolling down. Scrolling. Okay, come on. Where it has loads of people on 3, aren't there? Wow. Okay, there we are. So at the moment, 146 out of 708 players. And like I mentioned, they always have a break now after round 4, just so I think they can do their checks. They do another break after round 8, 11-round tournament. Like I say, it is kind of a creme de la creme chess tournaments online. Happens every Tuesday. Well done to chess.com for sorting their shit out with us. And yeah, it's a good tournament. So we're just gonna wait patiently. Any games going on? Let's have a look. No games going on. I think it's a bit unnecessary having this thing. I don't know what you think about the cheat detection on chess.com. So many people complain about it, but what can you actually do, you know? I mean, I think the problem is, you know, rather than blaming like sites for the amount of cheaters on it, like blaming like Lee Chess, chess.com, the best sites, you know, I think I probably prefer playing on Lee Chess a little bit, but chess.com has better tournaments, you know. I like it on Lead Chess because, you know, it's you can just sign up and get a game. You know, it's nice. But well, they're both very similar, aren't they? But much better tournaments on chess.com. But yeah, the problem with cheats is, like, you know, I hear so many people complaining of so many cheats on chess.com, but surely that's surely like blaming, you know, that's the wrong people to blame. I think you should be blaming, who's this streaming? You should really be blaming the Leon Levesque. I can't believe I don't know these players always. I mean, okay, we'll play c4. And let's... I mean, I could have played Jabava London, but it's nice to do things slightly different. It's my 3rd white, isn't it? I'm getting a lot of whites. I think we're... This one, I don't know what the fuck that is, to be frank. Okay, we'll just put a queen here. And I don't mind giving this pawn up. Pawns... Do you think I'll give a damn about a measly little pawn? No. Okay, now e4 feels like the sexy move to play, but This is where you could really do and own a bit. Okay, let's play it. I've got more pieces developed, so why not open it up? Now taking here, trying to get a check there looks critical. Takes here. Do I take there and try to get... Yeah, okay. Now this one, followed by a check on b5, allows me to castle quickly. So I'm going to go for speedy development. Check castles. And I'm not calculating, because calculating's for fools. I'm just going to try to get a rook, spanking him down the Edward file. So let's do it. Let's not think. Thinking is quite good, Simon. Let's just try and do this and get this in. And if he does manage the castle, he kind of has to watch out for ideas against here. If I can flick a knight in there. So bishop e7 is probably the safest. But then I can even go this way. Not too worried about my pawn structure here. We're just trying to play with development advantage and with so yeah, okay, so here and here. I quite like that. I mean, it's been referred that Garry Kasparov once said a knight on f5 is worth a pawn. It's amazing. Do it. You love it. If you get a knight on f5, you're going to be a hero forever. You know, you're going to be applauded every time you walk in your local pub. It's like the sexiest thing in the world. But I like this move as well, because this is a sexy little attacker. Okay, now that's a little bit annoying. I should have put a, why didn't I put a knight on f5? Muppet. Because I don't want to lose this knight, and I don't want to lose that pawn. So I mean, coming back is pathetic. We don't go backwards. Now taking is probably all right. I mean, do we play f4? I look a little bit loose. Okay, let's do it. I didn't really want to allow this, because this pawn can be very weak now, and he certainly boosted his position. But I'm going for the attack still. F5, very good positional move. That's what you expect from a strong player, as my opponent surely is. And I want to play this move, but I mean, this is like you are one crazy mother move. This is the annoying thing. I mean, what do we do here? Taking on, pass on. I don't like freeing his position up. He's in danger of taking over control over here. This is the issue. Come on, what are we doing? Are we gonna really play that move? Okay, I'm gonna play here because that seems like a weak point. I'm going g4 because if he moves his rook, I take. If he takes this pawn, I'm going f5. So he's ignoring all of my bullshit and he's just playing a good move. Bastard. Don't you just hate it when they ignore your bullshit? And what now? Yeah, annoyed. I'll be annoyed if I lose this one, because I'm pretty sure I had a sexy position in this game. Okay, we'll take here. Now, if the queens come off, it's not the end of the world. And whose king is weaker now? This rook is just too strong. I don't like giving him this pawn structure either, but his rook is so strong. Got to watch out for this. Okay, let's at least make sure it's not a check. Yeah, now if the queens come off, this pawn could be a winner. Chicken dinner. Okay, he's coming in. Yeah, that's a good move, isn't it? Don't like my position at all. That's a move I really don't want to play. I can't move my queen up because my rook's on pre. Ah, this is just a killer. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, this one. I think I was doing well, but I think we can safely resign here in a minute. But one last pump. If I get this pawn, there's something. But queen c4 puts an end to my fun and games. Yeah, that went a bit wrong. I think I had a great position there, but this f4 move is a bit too aggressive. I'm pushing the pawn. I had a really nice position, and I fucked it up. So his accuracy is going to be alright, but my position was so nice at the opening. And you can see I'm sort of controlling it so much, and I just like slip off the bandwagon around there. And it is around here where I could do a lot better. And f4, yeah, you see, even e5, you know where you go wrong sometimes after the game. Even e5 is an alright move, but you can see it starts to go downhill here. And f4 is just wrong, because actually, it'd be lovely if I get a pawn there, but I'm just too weak along this diagonal. So what should I play here? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's no advantage. Let's go back, and after bishop d7, there should be something better. So get rid of some of these things, and let's put it onto that move bishop d7, because it felt like I was doing everything right in the opening, developing. So it wants me to play bishop d3. Okay, interesting. It's the kind of move you don't look at, but that actually makes so much sense, right? Because this bishop, as we've seen so many times in these kind of positions where the centre's open out, is such a killer. He has to castle kingside, and the bishop on d3 is always going to be striking across there. That looks like such a great position, I have to say. If I'd have seen this move, I would have played it, lining up against h7. Makes so much sense. What I played also makes sense, just going for maximum development. But here, what about the other option I had? I mean, this move, you've got to listen to Big G, Big Gary. Gary Kasparov. You got to. This would have made more sense as well. That still gives me some attacking chances here with a knight hovering near his king. I've even got ideas of putting the bishop to h6 quite sexily. I'm amazed that the computer thinks this is equal. In practical play, this position might be even, but I think white's got the better chances because my moves are flowing, right? Queen g4, threat and mate. Bishop comes in somewhere. Put the rooks on the open files. Very easy to play. But all credit to my opponent, who played very well. And I feel that around about when my opponent found this good move, f5, you can't allow me to play there. Great move from my opponent. When he played this move here, I feel that it's starting to go a bit pear shaped. E6, I don't know. He's got a very easy plan. Rook c4, rook here, pressure against this, use his queenside majority. I feel that I'm actually going to be worse now. I can't break through. So interesting game. Well played to my opponent. He played nicely, and we've got to bounce back now. We just had round 5 there. So we've got 6 rounds to go, and we're on 3 out of 5. So we need a roll of wins now, if we want to have an exceptional tournament. So should have played the Jabava London. No, I shouldn't. I've got a great opening there. Can't blame it on should have, could have's. Too late. Now, are there any games going on? Let's have a look. Nope. So the next round should be starting quite soon. I mean, I hope they just get on with it. I'm so impatient. It's in between rounds. Just come on, play. Let's have a look how Aronian's getting on. Now, Aronian has 2 pawns for the good here, and he should be winning this. 2 pawns is good. He's going to slowly march them up. And he's got a very nice position. Oh, what did I do there? He's got a very nice position for his king. Looks quite safe. Oh no, Aronian's black here. My apologies. So Aronian's losing this one to Sanan. Oh god, I'm not going to. Sanan Shugirov, who's also another Russian player who's moved countries. And yeah, Aronian loses. Any other games going on? Nope. So we should be in with the next round shortly. Let's have another Dutch. Give me another Dutch, please. Let's have another Dutch. And who are we playing? We're playing Grandmaster from Canada. K Young. Another Grandmaster I haven't heard of. So many. I'm sure they grow on trees now. It's ridiculous. Right, here we go. We got a Dutch in. And this is the suggested way that I play against White's system. One of the first people to play this idea was Magnus Carlsen. So it's got to be retreated with respect. I think taking here, d5, here, takes, queen takes, bishop f5 is the main line. If you've been following my other Title Tuesdays, I've had that before. If White doesn't take here and go d4, then this is certainly a possibility. I've got to remember what I'm doing now. This is, I think it's transposed to a King's Gambit. Takes, bishop here, takes. And if he takes here, rook e1. Oh, I'm trying to remember my theory. This one and d6 is very simple, but can I keep it kind of interesting by doing something? I'm not going to risk it. I'll play the safe option. I've had this before, and I think it's a perfectly okay way to play because we get the centre. A little bit of doubling of pawns, but if I can get these two moves in, I'd love to get my queen around to g6. I'll be laughing. He's got this strong f3 move. At some point, f3 is the move that White needs to be concentrating on. Well, I say at some point, he obviously understands this shit because he's played it now. And do we go here? I like this diagonal for the bishop, so I'm going to keep it here. It gives me aggressive, hopefully, chances. Takes, knight takes even? No, because then when he castles, I won't be able to castle. So takes, pawn takes, and the bishop coming to g5. Okay, do we go knight takes then? We've got queen. Okay, let's go for this because it's interesting. As in, I do have, if he castles, I do have my queen coming here, which looks quite intriguing. And if he doesn't castle, I will castle. And in this variation, I'm trying to use the power of this bishop. So we're actually trying to make use of this move, which I could have kept that knight tied down by pinning it, but this is a very strong diagonal. And queen h4 is certainly a threat here. g3, we take on g3. Castles, queen here, g3, we take on g3. Castles, queen here, h3, we can take on h3. So what does he do here? If he doesn't castle, I'm going to castle, then his king is going to be in the middle. So can he play something like castling queenside? Well, at least those variations, we have an interesting structure. And I'm going to castle now because I still have this check. Bishop f2, we're stopping it. So he's spending a lot of time playing moves, and now I think we will flick this one in to discourage him from castling queenside and provoke a weakness. If he goes there, I can check. He no longer has c3. Maybe by the way, I should have checked instead of castling. No, then you had bishop f2. So this is right. So I'm just asking him questions. How are you going to defend your pawn there? I also have ideas. Maybe bring the bishop in like this way. But I'd love to attack this with my queen and go for a sacrifice, but I can't see any way of achieving that. Okay, well this makes my next move very easy. And now he has bishop b3 if I take there, but even those positions are very interesting because of this check. He can flick the queen in now. Now this is getting. He's got a very bizarre idea. He can. I've got to take there because it just seems too intriguing. Imagine he castles now. Now this check is the move I'm relying on. And now bishop c3 was queen here. I take there. I've also got some shit with bishop g4. But I want to take on d4. My monitor says it's going to turn off. We could play this position blindfold. Oh my god, my monitor's broken. What the fuck? I'm not even joking. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, good. It went orange. It had enough of my beard. Okay, this position looks so strong now. This move, can we... I mean, taking here, probably winning, but... This and rook takes here is such a sexy idea. Queen takes, double bishop. Whoa! Tickle those balls, my friend. I'm going to have to play this. This looks so fun. This idea and bishop g4. And we're seesawing him. Don't get back spanked. Don't get back spanked. Oh, baby. Come to baby. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, son. Whoa. Whoa. Lovely chaplain. Well, that feels nice. Look at that. That's some sexy shit. That is some nice stuff there. A bit of crisscross. And I'm also coming in here with the chuck mutt. So that was more like it. Oh, just give me a Dutch in every game and I will be... I'll probably be world champion. Probably. At least. Maybe 20. Only 20. Up 2,800 easily. Maybe world champion. If I could play the Dutch every single game. There's no doubt in my mind. Well, maybe a little bit. I don't think the review... Oh, look at that. We're in the 90%. There's Kramnik. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And in this game, again, the games are very close. It was fairly even, and then went... But what I'm happy about, from my perspective, is actually d6 is a mistake. I'm not sure about that, you bloody patzer. It's meant to be an okay move, and it worked out fine. Go home, computer. Weak computer. Let's go to analysis here. It just annoys me that monkey business it's doing there. The decision actually I'm most happy about is here. What to capture with. It was a very big decision. Now taking with a pawn seemed very normal, but castling and bishop g5 was a problem. Taking with the knight was a much better decision because it opens up my queen, but it looks kind of unnatural because when he castles, I can't castle. But the computer thinks this is just a draw, but I don't know. I mean, is he drawing here? It's never nice to go into a variation where you have your opponent has a forced draw minimum. I mean, is there no way I can try to win this? I would have taken here when I have at least a draw, but maybe I just don't have enough pieces here. You know, sneeze. That's what you got to do. You got sneeze, take the pawn off the board when they're not looking. When I used to play chess and money, I think I was living in my car at the time. And I was living in my car and I was a bit desperate for cash. I remember playing this guy for money. He was a really bit of a thug. And he ended up smashing me to go and get some stitches. But he's the kind of guy who'd do stuff like that. He'd like sneeze, knock the pawn off the board and say checkmate. And then if you said, what are you doing? He'd be like, what? You talking to me? Talking to me? But it's quite hard to do that online, isn't it? You can't go, well, shoot, and take that one off. So maybe this is his best line, but it's really hard for a human to play like this. And what happened in the game? Well, he actually got a bit of a spanking, didn't he? 20 moves of pure, unadulterated spanking, which some people will pay good money for. And maybe I should send my opponent an invoice for the spanking that he got. You know, you can go to certain establishments and pay hundreds of pounds to get this kind of spankerage. But he gets it. Oh, I love that move. He gets it for free here. Now bishop g4. Actually, rook takes f1. Rook takes f1. Yeah, and then bishop g4. There's any move here wins basically. But this one was my idea all along, so it looked fairly sexy. Okay. Anyway, that felt good. So what are we on now? We are on if we have a look at the scores and who's doing what, we've played 6 rounds. 6 rounds already. It's a lot of rounds. We're over halfway. Thank God. Get a beer soon. And Wesley So's up there with 6 out of 6. Come on, Wesley, my son. I have to say, I like Wesley. You know, I did some commentary a while back, and he's a really, really nice guy. Really, really nice guy. And his mum. Very nice people. And you got all these people on 5.5. So what am I on? I'm on 4, which I think is all right, considering there's so many players. You know, I'm all right. I'm up there. I'm up there. If I can get 9 out of 11, we are laughing. Look, you know, we're up there. We're up there under 4 groups. So are we in the top 100? Yeah, but there's probably more games going on. So look, we're up there. That's not bad. If we finish top 100, we can be, you know, mildly satisfied. Mildly satisfied. But our aim is to get 9 out of 11. That's what we're going for. We only got, not more than 3 games. 5 games to go. So we need to win all 5. Okay, it's not very likely, but we'll give it a punt. Now, what games are still going on? There's 1 game going on. Let's just close these ones down. So, okay, there's not. So the next game should start any second now. So, here we are. What happened there? I was playing someone and then it changed. Did you see that? That was quite trippy. I was playing the 3,000 rated and it said, no, you're not playing someone 3,000. You're going to get crushed if you play a 3,000. Let's give you a 4-year-old instead. Look at that. No, Simon, you're not good enough to play 3,000 rating. Have this young kid instead. Should we play the modern? I quite like the modern. You get very... Well, the thing is, with the modern, I'm not sure if I'd like it or not. You get very exciting games. Generally. But I feel it's a bit dubious. I play the hippo quite a lot. You know, you guys, you see my streams. You've seen I do the hippo. I can't say it's a brilliant opening, because it's not. But it keeps all the pieces on the board. It's a very flexible opening. And as my opponent looks like he's literally just fallen out the womb, it's a good opening against babies. Why is it a good opening against babies? Because it's quite sophisticated. I'm not saying my opponent's like about, you know, I did actually just say that, didn't I? It's quite hard to get to grips with the subtleties. And this idea of G5 and Knight G6, I really enjoy. And I'm quite liking my position. This is a hippo. I'm a happy hippo. It's a happy hippo. Yeah, I think that's what you say. Here we'll come round this way. Let's do that, shall we? Bring everything to the king's side. If he goes here, I can come here and here. I'm looking to get a piece here. Maybe hinting on D5. And this one, yeah, I mean, I feel it's a good move for my opponent. We both get squares. I get this square. He gets this square. But this is nice, right? He doesn't want to play G3 because his bishop on H2 looks like an absolute idiot. And it's a nice square. Okay, now my bishop is very nice, but his point is that he figures I have to give it up, which I might have to do because he's taken there. So that makes some sense. Now I can play Knight F4, but if he takes it and goes here, am I dropping that pawn? It doesn't feel right. This feels like the solid option. Knight F4. Bishop takes, pawn takes, Queen D2, E5. It doesn't feel right, does it? But I still want to play it for some reason. Okay, I've got F. Okay, I'm going to play it. 2 bishops. My pawns are weak. It's a bit more exciting than taking on E4. Taking on E4, I like this bishop. I want to keep this bishop even if I lose a pawn. Now if he goes C4, my bishop drops back to B7. I don't want to take that. And I realised I have this F5 move. Queen D2 F5 is what has turned me on when his knight is actually trapped. That's what's turned me on to this idea. And he's fallen for it. This is the line that I had foreseen. C4 I can take there, and his knight is actually trapped, and a very sort of obvious looking move, but it doesn't work. Okay, so he's still he's still probably going to beat me, because that's what these annoying youngsters do, isn't it? I am a piece up. Yes, Simon, you're a piece up. Don't forget that. But, okay, queen to g5. Let's put it over here. Try to get the queens off. C4. Yeah, I mean, of course I'm winning. Of course I'm winning here, but this kid could be a tricky guy. Now I'm trying to get my queen to g5 to plug holes. If he takes on f4, swap the queens off. When you material up, swap the queens off. Makes life a lot easier. I can't see any easy way for him to complicate. Here, my queen comes in here. c4, I think I can take it. My bishop has a beautiful square on v5. I can't see any obvious way for him to press the complicate button, which I'm sure I will find soon. Okay, so he's having a good think here. Probably not a very, you know, if you're going to think, do it when you're not losing pieces, probably. And we can hopefully build up something on the G file. So he wants this, but then I get the G3 square, which is a really big square. So now this one, I take it still. So I think we could have gone that way, but I'm just ganging up everything on G2 here. This is a traditional way of doing it. What's he trying to do here? This one, I've got rookies. What's he trying to do with this move? Well, maybe his position is just so bad. It's nothing he can do. Now, am I threatening queen takes here? Takes, king here, check, rook takes here, rook takes e2. I think I am. And this one is surely bad news for him. But let's get one more piece ready for the party, yeah? And then we always have this. We have check, these ideas. Well, we have everything pointing at him. But why have I allowed him to play c4? Why have I allowed c4? Why do I allow that move? That was stupid. I'm saying I want to stop this move, but I have something. Why do I allow this move? This is because I have something up my sleeve. No, I don't know what it is yet. That was bloody. This is giving him back in the game, right? Fucking hell, Simon, you are sometimes such a muppet. Because he's got d5. Okay, come on, let's play. d5 is so annoying. Closing that one down. Who's better? Because my bishop is not happy. Now queen takes h3 is hovering. But my bishop can't get in the game, and that's the annoying thing here. Okay, now it's getting in. Now it's getting in. Now it comes in. He needed to keep his pawn there. Oh yeah! You know what to do with that, young man. Put it in the pipe and smoke it. Yeah, I mean, I fucked up at the end, like an idiot, but I built up a time advantage there. And my young opponent defended. I guess he's young. I'll probably find out he's like an 80-year-old man, but won't be very high on game review. But let's have a little look. Look, he's struggling. The poor kid in that picture. He's struggling to see the pieces. He needs some cushions. That kid. Look at him. Look at him. Look at the poor kid. Let's have a look. Where is he? Look at that. He can barely see the board. You know, I mean, you know, he's obviously a bloody good player, but like he needs someone should give him some cushions. How are you supposed to play a game of chess? Look at his eye level when he can only see half the board. He can't see over the horizon. That's like looking over a mountain. How's he? That's probably why he plays online, right? He probably only plays online because he hasn't found a big enough chair yet, because he can't see past the queen. I get it. That's why he's playing this tournament. So, where were we? What was the The 86. Well, yeah, I mean, I was completely crushing here, but I let it slip. Hedgehog, quite a fun opening. And this is where I played rook g7, allowing this move. I should play b5. b5 is the move to play. Just rule this move out. Maybe there's some tactic here as well. But if I stop this one, then I can build up and do the same tactic whilst maintaining my bishop. And the point of b5 is if he takes, I'm always going to have bishop takes f3 tactic, because he can't take, he has to take with the pawn if his queen comes away from here. So that, as I'm sure we'll find in the analysis, which we'll have a little look at, get up, stand up, would have been the way to play. The way I actually played, even though I won a clear piece here, allowed him straight back into the game. So rook g7, a big mistake. In this position, b5 I like. And look, the computer now gives it as the top move. I mean, I could go rook c8 to control there, but obviously I want this rook over here to kill. And my opponent was short on time, and that saved me, because it's really not a clear position now. I don't think I'm worse, but who knows? He should have taken there. And his big mistake now was this one, because now my bishop comes back and it finds a purpose for living. And I have bishop takes f3 as a rather unstoppable threat here. There was another nice little tactic. Just that I'll leave this one with you guys. You can maybe answer in the chat. Make sure the next game hasn't started. If my opponent plays a move like let's turn the computer. How do we? Oh, I don't know how to turn the computer off. Okay, we're playing a game. Queen d4. Queen takes h3. So we're in, and let's stick to d4 today. Maybe mix it up another time. We're playing an FM, but with a bloody high rating. And we had a lot of fun with the Tromp earlier. And then we go into this Torre. And we enjoyed this line, didn't we? This looked like fun. So let's do this again. And I think the better line is for my opponent to go for e5. This is also a very sensible way to play. Now, I'm going to play super aggressive, because that's the way I roll. But this can also be a weakness. Let's try to do some stuff with my knights. But d5, d6, d6. His bishop is probably going to come to life. I just have a slightly safer king. Of course, he plays the best move, d6. Now, this check is only a check, right? Not really going to cause him any reason to poo his pants. I don't want to take this, because then I'm probably worse actually there. Unless I can take and come here like a animal. But then he'll castle, and feels a bit wrong now. Takes, knight b5, castles, and do we? I don't know. I check. Okay, let's. Oh, he's moved his king. Wow. Well, now I'm happy, because I'm always going to have some counterplay. Surely, have some counterplay here. So takes. I want to have knight g5, right? Do we play knight g5 now then? Or do we go queen d2? Castling, he takes there. Most problem. Am I worried about? No, let's castle. Let's not worry about that pawn. Let's just give him that pawn. You can have that pawn. Got good development. His king is a little bit distracted. I mean, and we have a very interesting position, more importantly. The reason I've gone this way is I want f3, actually. I want to open up the rook. Now, or f4. So he has grabbed this one. Fair enough, fair play. And now f4 is running into g3. Do I play g3 myself? I mean, am I starting to regret this? Here, g3, and hang on a minute, I'm getting mated. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Here, might have to play this. Now, queen here, I've got bishop f1. Now f4. And he takes here. Do I have anything there? I have knight g5. So takes, knight g5. I'm just trying. I'm trying to attack with the better development, but it's obviously very risky, and he's not having anything to do that. Now I think I need to get my king off the files. But yeah, okay, this position is starting to look like bullshit, I think is the correct terminology. As in, what am I doing here? Okay, I don't know. It doesn't even do anything, does it? And his bishop here is going to be so strong. Okay, well, we've got to keep some bullshit going. I mean, but not a very impressive game from me so far. So I'm going to try to put my bishop on e4. But he can take here if he wants. He can take here if he wants. He can go bishop b7. Bishop b7, I'm obviously putting the bishop here. And then what? My king moving here just doesn't seem like a good square now. But it's still not completely shit. It's just mildly shit. Mildly crap. Oh fuck, why do I put it there? Because now knight d4. That was a muppet move. Knight d4. Why do I allow... Okay, I mean, maybe I'm not that worried about it, but just... It was unnecessary. Okay, so this one I'm hoping I can take here. And again, all hell breaks loose. This is mental. Knight here. Takes here. Takes here. Check. What is going on? Okay. It's a mess, isn't it? I'm going f5. I don't think he can take my knight. He's got to move his bishop. Then my knight can come back to e5. Coming into g6. My time is low. It can also come this way, but e5 seems more natural. I thought he couldn't do this. I thought I could take here. Because of this check. And I'd win a piece. But I'm sure this young player is a lot quicker than me, and he is, because I missed that flipping move, didn't I? Okay, but that's annoying. Okay, life. I thought I was winning. I thought I was winning there, but I'm not. My calculation's just not quick enough. This is still. I don't know what. Am I pawn down? But he's got issues with this geezer. Maybe f5 if he defends that geezer. So it's still game on. c3, my probably main threat. Okay, well, I have to play f5. And now, how is this panning? Oh, he's got fuck a duck. I forgot about knight e3. Oh, he was just sharper than me. Bastard. Ah, it's probably doing well there, yeah? When the tactics start to happen, but I'm too slow. Well, let's not have a look at game. Well, okay, we've done game review every other game. Let's see what that was a bit of bullshit, really. I have to say. Yeah, there was just a moment or two. There was a moment here, was there? Oh, right. Yeah. So what did I do wrong here? This moment was key, and also the other moment, which we know is key, was after knight takes d4. I knew I had a good move here. Pawn takes. When I only have 30 seconds, I like freak out basically. Freak out. Okay, let's have a look. Let's put it on there. And where was I going to look at first? King f8. So what should I have done there? What's happening here? I don't care for your code. King f8. Well, let's go back. Okay, yeah, King f8. So this is where I okay, f4 immediately. That is such a logical move, because if he doesn't take on pass on, I wanted to play f4 anyway, right? But if he doesn't take on pass on, f4 kills the bishop, because I have this throne of pawns, and this bishop, yeah, f4, clearly a very nice move. But then, quite importantly, very complex game. I moved a bit too quickly here. I moved a bit too quickly, but I was freaking out. I thought I saw a nice line, but it wasn't as good as I thought. And knight takes d8. What kind of nonsense move is that? Really? I don't know. This position's a bit too weird. Was this move that bad? Really? What if I take on? What if I'd taken that one now? Queen c5. Don't know. I just couldn't calculate this. I thought I was a piece up, but little did I realise that actually here I'm not. And the next blunder that I made, my opponent played very well in the complications. I forgot he has this knight coming to this square, so I needed to play, like the computer says. This is a blunder. Oh, don't you just hate it when it keeps giving the red? And around here, this is another blunder because the reason I resigned is that I'm allowing this annoying interlude. So, okay, so we can only get 8 out of 11. It's round 8 already, so I think they have a break now. And, well, there's still quite a lot of games going on. So let's have a look at scores first. Who's leading at the moment? I think Wesley is still up there. Go Wesley. Hikaru's always up there, of course. And as well as numerous other big names. And what games are still going on? So 3 games left. Yeah, well, what are we? Oh, how many points are we on? 5. So we can get 8. We get to 8 points. That would be an amazing score still. So let's have a look at this game. Bishop and Rook versus Rook. Now, this is famously hard to defend, but it is a theoretical draw. And Black's making a lot of progress with the White King being forced to the back rank. Maybe this position is not a theoretical draw, but he's allowed the King out. Very, very hard. And I don't know, this is move 113. In practice, this position is actually harder to draw than it is to win, I found. I've had this a couple of times with the Rook and Bishop, and I've always won. But I've never had it with the Rook, and I'd be really uncomfortable if I had the Rook versus Rook and Bishop. I wouldn't know how to... Well, I know some techniques how to draw it, but I'm not very confident with it. Black doesn't seem to be making much progress at the moment. The 50 move rule may well come into effect quite soon. Obviously, 50 moves, the game is without a capture, without a pawn move. It is... declared a draw, so they must be getting it's a move 133 now, and Black's just not making any progress here. So you can't swap rooks. It's obviously a draw, and White is defending pretty well here, I have to say. Good defense, and there you go. Black not making progress in this time. Very hard to. Well defended, has to be said. And yeah, they're just checking for cheats now. So standings, back to them. 3 games to go. Let's see if we can have a good finish with the 3 games. And we're on, what are we on? 5 points, I think we said. Yeah, 5 points. So Kramnik is playing. Oh wow! I thought he said he wasn't going to play any more Title Tuesdays. I think isn't Kramnik like the ultimate troll? I mean, he's like one of the most fantastic players of all time, despising cheaters. He's a brilliant player. He's obviously in his retirement now. He beat Kasparov to become world champion, and I was an usher there, helping people to their chairs. Great job I had. And he's basically, a legend. He's done everything in chess that anyone could have wished for. Being world champion, made good money, had a very cool style of chess, positionally brilliant, understanding phenomenal. And now he's just started like accusing people of cheating. and basically saying that everyone who plays is a cheat, pretty much, and inferring that everyone's a cheat. I reckon he's just taking the piss. I reckon he's like, yeah, whatever, you know. I reckon he's like, I've done it. I don't really care anymore. I'm just gonna like do what I want to do. And on top of that, I do think he's actually got very good intentions. I think he means very well, right? I mean, I think he's like, as a lot of top chess players and a lot of chess players I know think, they hate cheaters, and there's maybe more cheating going on than people think. I mean, I remember Danny Wrench telling me how many people cheat in Untitled Tuesday, and it was a phenomenal number. I wish they'd publicise. I wish they'd make it more public who cheats. You know, have a list, and they get banned from playing on, you know, offline. So I don't think there's much to stop people from cheating. But I think Kramnik's doing, like, you know, he's trying to do an honourable job, but he's also a bit fucking crazy, right? Fuck me. I mean, like, you know, I don't think his grasp of statistics is maybe like as good as it should be. I haven't really looked, but anyway, I find it funny. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? You know, world champion suddenly gone cheating ballistic. I mean, he accused my good friend of cheating, Richard Pert, and Richard crushed Kramnik. Richard is only an iron, but he's a fantastic player. He's twin brothers with ex-world under 18 champion Nicholas Pert, another good friend. And Richard just crushed Kramnik, and it was only about 85% accuracy, maybe 90. Crushed him in theory, and Kramnik just called him a cheat. But actually, it was just a brilliant game, and he wasn't cheating. It was clear that it was just theory. So it's weird, but I thought Chess.com had banned Kramnik as well, because, you know, he's going around accusing all their players of cheating. Are you allowed to do that now? Can I just say you're cheating? Can I just say, oh, like, Hikaru cheats, you know, which I don't think, by the way, at all. But are you allowed to just accuse people of cheating now without any repercussions? It's weird, isn't it? So it's funny. I'll find it funny anyway. So come on, let's get on with the next round. It's free to go. Whoop whoop. And then I can have a beer. Yes, baby. Bring me some cider. Bring me some cider. Oh yeah. Cider me up, up, up. Woohoo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, come on. They do. I mean, the breaks are quite long, aren't they? Between. We can have a look where we are positioned. Let's do a scrolling while we wait for the action to start. 2 leaders at the top there. 2 great players. And we're scrolling. There we go. 128th place. So we're actually on the same score as Aronian. Wow, that'd be fun to play Aronian, right? So we're still not doing badly, but we need to have a good finish to have a good tournament. 718 players. I'm got to think a bit carefully about my openings. I want to get openings that I'm comfortable with. And who is the druid? I love druids. I reckon I was a druid in another life. Munching on those mushrooms. Okay. Yeah, Ronian's just having a bad tournament. But it's tough, yeah. I mean, if someone like Ronian could be on the same score as me, he's obviously played harder opponents than me. But, you know, all of the people in this competition are very capable, yeah? Isle of Man flag. That's weird. Who's this guy? Never heard of him. And you got... obviously, Aman on the same points as well, 5 points. So yeah, it's a tough little group. But hopefully they get the next game going soon. So who was my opponent there anyway? Snowlord. Yeah. I mean, usernames, eh? Snowlord. Okay, right. I thought I was playing someone else there. I was like, what the hell's going on there? Okay, so we're playing a guy from Spain. And what are we going to get? I mean, I've had a couple of Dutches. I quite like to get a dragon in again. I want something super aggressive. But it looks like we're going to get another Dutch. I'm also playing the King's Indian Defence quite a lot. But Oh, don't we just hate the London system? And the move that I recommend in my latest chessboard course is actually this bishop d6 move, but g6 is a bit more exciting. Bishop d6 I think is a very good, safe way to play, but this variation, it just keeps the pieces on, and we may get some attacking chances. So I'm going to play d6 so I can meet d5 with e5, and the idea is to... Oh, I mean, the problem is I think white's probably doing well in these lines because c5 is bloody annoying, but it can get very exciting. Should I have gone there first to cover that? I'm hoping I'm covering this move, but maybe I'm not covering this move. Now, do we play here first, and then grab that pawn? Maybe I wasn't covering that move. My opponent's played this kind of perfectly so far. Fucker. And takes, take on c7, and it's boring. I don't want boring, but okay, maybe we have to do it, otherwise we're just going to be worse. Okay, let's do it. We'll do it. We have to try to simplify. It's annoying, yeah. I mean, the c5 is very good way to play. I know he's playing very imaginatively. Probably a very good move. He's playing good chess. Attacking here. Not easy to defend this one. Now, can we... Might have to go here. Cover it like that. Interesting, still, I think. Takes, maybe I try to support my knight. c6, my bishop comes here. Okay, not much time to mess around, so we'll go here. I had to watch out for c6. Happy to exchange this bishop off for something. I'm just trying to hold the center. Hold the center with my knight. My knight there looks like a very good piece. At the moment it's defending, but it does support stuff like f4, which would kill the range of his bishop. So I am going to go here. I'm hoping I'm not falling in for some tactic like this. If he takes here, I'm obviously taking there. Hope I've calculated this okay. This is what he's thinking of. I need to take on e2. Now this one I'm going to take here. If he takes here, I go queen to e7. And again, I hope I've calculated that okay. Here, 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 here. Yeah, okay, so I think I did. Now we need to now try and consolidate. And this is it. I'm relying on these knights to hold everything together, hold the fort. And, you know, this... You know, I don't see what he's doing with that one, as my rook, I think, wants to centralize anyway. And let's get this king out of the way, and I want these moves probably. Maybe knight e4 as well is a very decent way to play this, but this one looks correct because this bishop. Remember, this is one of the main ideas. You really want to kill this bishop. Now, keep my knight here is my other main idea because it looks correct. Now there. The knight comes in. Am I holding my center together? It's either that or rook d6 first, but okay, we'll go for this. Don't know if it's holding or not. If I can maintain stuff, it's okay, because he's playing effectively a piece down, but I am walking into a number of pins. Okay, so he's going here, but this allows my pawn to come forwards again, right? And he's going to go this way, but maybe queen f7? Am I really scared there? No. Okay, we have to keep going forwards. If here, queen f7, I've got to control g6. And my queen can also then aim. So he's come back. Strange way to play. I thought he just came to f5. That would have been... Okay, now I'm going to centralize this baby. Hitting the knight, stopping it coming to f5, and I have good centralization. Okay, move this rook here. Now, can I go here and take here? Then he... Let's try. It's aggressive. Yeah, okay. I am letting this guy out, though. Okay, his king's going to have to walk, but... Yeah, maybe that was the wrong way to play, but... Interesting still. Why did I walk into that as well? That was silly. I'm giving so many tempo. Now my queen is struggling, right? Okay. Complicated position. Complicated. I think he can take and take on f4. He's going to play it, isn't he? Fuck. He's found it. He's found the good moves in time scenario. Oh, fuck. That's annoying. Time's ticking as well. Okay, we'll have to take this. Okay. Messy position. You can't check at the moment because I block. Bishop d4, potentially a threat. Okay, well, don't really want to draw, do I? What else to do though? If I don't take a draw, I'm... What was that? He's going for the win. Good man, good man. I'm pawned down. Fuck, I've just dropped another one. Shizer. Okay, I'll play quick. He's played well. But not as well as this gentleman here. Oh fuck, what am I doing? God, this is still complicated. Oh, I can't stop the fucking pawn. What the fuck? Oh, you muppet. Oh, fucking hell. Unbelievable blunder at the end there. Oh, a4 is alright. Why don't I just push it and not think? Ah, oh, because he can't stop me queening. Oh, man. Oh, you idiot. Oh, that was so painful. This position is not as easy as I thought. I mean, it must be winning. Must be winning, but this is really hard to stop. It's not as easy as I thought. And this was a great move. Missed this move, and it confused me. Well, that was frustrating. Should have been a win there. So, wah wah wah. Oh well. Interesting game. Interesting game. Let's do what we normally do. Put it on this game review. Won't be very good. But I thought I was doing very well there for most of the game. But look, it was a roller coaster. And actually, my opponent was doing well. I mean, this is my one big chance. It was only around here in Queen E5. So it was a very complex game, and I missed the chance of going E3 here. I mean, my position looks so good here. I'm amazed I'm only 0.7 of an advantage. I felt that it should be a lot more here, to be honest. And well, it was a bit of a roller coaster, and then there was a lot of tactics going on. Lots of tactics. That I mean, when you play this way, this way, I mean, it is okay for black, but I always feel white's play is a little bit easier with c5. So the recommended way to play, I just wanted to do this because it's more aggressive, but the recommended way to play this position is to go bishop d6. This is what I give in my chessball course. And I think this is a way to equalize pretty easily. This is also quite interesting, and you try to harass this with the knight. Maybe I'll try this one next. There's many different ways to play, But bishop d6 is kind of the simple way to face the London system. Well, that was annoying, that game, but hey ho. It's blitz after all, isn't it? And hopefully we get the next game very quickly, otherwise I'm going to lose interest. There's only 2 to go. And it looks like all the games have finished. Who's leading? Okay, we're in with another one. Okay, we'll keep playing them. And we're on 5 points, so we can only get 7 points now if we win the next 2. But 7 points are still okay, I guess. And I haven't finished the Title Tuesday for a very long time. Okay, let's. We've had enough of the Dutch now. Let's play. Let's go for a King's Indian Defence, which I also like. I managed to beat Korchnoi once with this opening a long time ago. And he's playing into typically the Jabava London. But now we're into a French defence, so it's going backwards and forwards. And the most interesting variation of this is not a particularly aggressive way to play. This is actually quite boring now. This position should be even, I feel. I need to get this bishop out. Queen e4, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, give you that. Maybe I've misplayed this. Okay, let's swap off the light square bishops because he's certainly getting some attack down here. This b6 move was a bad move. It fell straight into my opponent's ideas there. And now how do I get this guy out? Okay, I'm trying to force some opening somewhere. And now at least have a check over here if he retreats his queen. I want to swap queens because I was quite scared, even though I may be a little bit worse here. Maybe, but this seems all right. This seems okay. I'm not worried anymore. I was more worried before. His pawns are also quite weak in this position. They can be targets. C4 I can attack this way. D4 I can attack this way. Maybe I actually prefer my position. Now, is this rook coming in anywhere here? I don't feel it is. My bishop is actually doing a very good job of stopping that infiltration. Now, C5, D5. Or do we play this move first? Let's do this. C5 still an idea? I have this check. I really want to play C5. Okay, we'll line up C5. I'm trying to get all our pieces as well placed as we can. Now here I obviously then have access to the D5 square. And C5 I like because my rooks come to life. And obviously when there's a capture on C5, I'm pinning the C4 pawn. So I have ideas with check on D5 in that position as well. So C5 is a tickler. And we want to tickle with a C5 move. So he's having a long think here, but I think his position is a bit tough even. It's weird because it kind of feels like his position shouldn't be tough. He's got what you would say is a good centre, but these are more weaknesses. I really don't think he should have swapped queens off. I mean, he was coming at me with these scary as hell looking moves. Like I'm gonna fuck you up, man. H4, Queen E4. I'm coming for your king. You're going down. You're going down. And then it suddenly goes, oh no, let's swap queens off. So thanks for that, dude. Okay, so we're going to play this one. So he realizes his plan is bad, and now he's trying to complicate matters. Okay, let's go for it. Now, to chuck or not to chuck? Let's chuck. And where does this one go? Here, because I don't think he can stop me winning this pawn. Had I gone to b8, his knight might have come this way, but now I'm winning a pawn because I've got 2 bits attacking it, and you can only defend it with 1 bit. So got both my rooks behind the bulldozers, and the bulldozers are ready to rock and roll. Ready to rock and roll. I never learn. I didn't even see him move there. H5. Okay, so right. Let's try to gain a tempo by attacking the bishop and get the bulldozers lined up. Where does this bishop go? If it goes here, he runs into a fork. If it goes this way, it looks a bit odd. So let's roll, my friends. Roll another one. Just like the other one. I'll be hanging on to it. And I sure do need a hit. Don't bogart that joint, my friend. Or pass it over to me. Just singing a bit of like Easy Rider soundtrack. One of the better soundtracks out there. That and of course the Doors soundtrack. What other soundtracks are good? Easy Rider soundtrack must have the best soundtrack. Lost Boys was pretty. No, Lost Boys wasn't that. Well, maybe it was alright. Lost Boys soundtrack. Yeah, I've forgotten his name now. Yeah, there's some good. I'm just trying to think. Best. Okay, you can help me out there. Movies with the best soundtracks. That's what we want to hear. Okay, one game to go. Well, I think that game was all right. I mean, I got in a bit of a pickle in the opening there. To be fair, but apart from that, did we lose the game? I mean, did we lose where we were? Oh shit! Do I have to log back in or some crap? Let me just do that. Chess.com. Okay, here we are. So who's leading? So there's one round to go. And then Lazaric, really talented junior, that guy. Really good junior. Okay, but now it's updated. So we have Big Fish at the top. Let's see if we can catch some games. There's loads of games going on. Hikaru versus Den Lazaric. Is that how you pronounce it? And Hikaru seems to be in total control on the clock and playing against the weakness on c6. It's got a threat of knight d7 in the position, and now knight takes c6 is, look at that, great play from Hikaru as always, and that is going to win the day. So Dennis resigns. Now Wesley So drew against MVL. Surprising draw there. These pawns look so strong, and the computer indicates that white was winning, but the time situation was not on young Wesley's side. Okie doke. Who else are we going to... fucking legend, shall we? And the fucking legend is winning. Give the legend some respect. King of the nil. And of course, there's only one fucking legend, and that is Kamsky. And Kamsky wins because he's a fucking legend. Those are his own words. Gotham chess. Gotham chess. What colour is he? He's white, and this is going to be a draw because they're going to have to give up their rooks for the pawns, and it is a draw. Yes. Okay. Anyone I know personally here? Okay. Let's have a look at Lula. And Lula has just got her woman candidate master title, and she's trying to stalemate against an FM. I don't think it's going to work. That looks like a mate to me. But still, she's got 1 point, which is good because it's a very tough competition. It's 10 rounds, best players. She gets a lot of hate, Lula, as well, which is really unfair. I mean, most people get hate, don't they, online. And Grandilius is trying to draw this position against a bit of a Blitz. What is that word? Blitz legend Yakov. He's a really, really nice guy. A legend of online chess. Pepe! What is this position? This is a crazy position. Probably going to be two bishops Oh, hello. Can't you take... Oh, no. Which way's black going? Black's going this way. I mean, this should be a draw. But anything at all is possible in this position. Literally anything. I mean, what is going on? I thought the black pawn was going that way, but actually, no, it's going this way. Oh, this could go on for a long, long time. These are the kind of games actually I kind of hate because it's like, oh, come on, man. Oh, there's a little cheeky check there. And black making quite good progress here. Black's going to have to try and push this bishop. Why don't you take the rook? Could have taken the rook. Oh, it's black one on time. Oh, well, I'm laughing, but it's a bit of a cruel way for Olga to lose there. But it's so easy when you're watching, though, isn't it? I mean, just look at this. Rook c8, and Bebe could have taken that one. But, you know, so much easier when you're watching. I mean, just try playing. Oh, we got another bishop and rook versus rook. And that will white succeed. And this is the second rank defense. This is the one defense that I know. And unsurprisingly, the player, Indian players are so well educated, and now he's gonna lose. Oh God, this second rank defense is the one defense that I know. You basically keep your rook on this rank, and you got lots of stalemate tricks, but it didn't work there, did it? White won that one. Okay, so we got the last round, and let's flick it to c4, e4. That's e4, isn't it? Do I play that? Let's go e4 for a change. We've gone d4 every game. Let's try to sack some bits. Lose lots of pieces, hillbilly it up, and finish on 7 points, which would be, I feel, a perfectly respectable score. So this is the hillbilly opening. Only complete and utter lunatics play this opening, because it is weird, but you're trying to get through to... Does this move work? That just it looks like it shouldn't work, should it? I think, okay, I don't know. I can't bring myself to playing that, even though it's a typical idea in the hillbilly. Now I'm a bit worried about my opponent putting a knight on c5 here, but we'll live with it. We will live. Yeah, which you're doing. He's going this way to c5, so we'll develop. Now, if he does put his knight on that square, what do we do? Well, let's not worry about it. Let's just develop, shall we? Let's worry about it later on. Can't worry about everything in life, can we? Now, I might get a little bit squeezed. He wants to squeeze my balls. Which way do we go? I mean, this bishop is not very good now, is it? I'm worried I'm going to get hit. He's going to squeeze my balls. He's going to... slowly take the oxygen away like a very tight pair of Levi's. You suck the air out. Feel the pressure. Come play thy game and I will test ya. Okay, this is not really the sacrificial game that I wanted. This is much more of a maneuvering game, and I'm not sure why I moved my bishop away when it was on a good pin there. But we will try to... now, can I take there? Why can't I do that? I mean, I'm going to do it, because that's why I moved it there in the first place. His idea is probably to come down here. Or maybe he just didn't see it, but he's got lucky. But after takes, queen g5. No, we can't go knight g3, because he would take it. So takes, queen g5. Which he has to do. And he has to come down here. But this is quite... interesting, right? And I can... no, because my rook drops. So I have to go this way. And we got this really messy position. This check is coming. Both of us have got some dancing knights on the board. Really interesting. This check stops him castling, at least. So he's trying to stop me from checking there, which is annoying. And I'm going to castle queenside. But this, yeah, I mean, why didn't I just assumed he would go to this square for some unknown reason. Okay, queen d2. because I want to get castle quickly here. If I b5 takes my knight. Okay, shit, he's got some ideas. Oh fuck, that's an idea and a half, isn't it? It looks a bit desperate taking there, but what else do I do here? I've walked into, well, there's forks and then there's a fucking fork like that. I have to take here, and this is getting very desperate now. Have to castle, and now we use the technical term pray. I mean, okay, let's keep going. I prefer knights to rooks. I hear knights are much stronger than rooks. I hear that rooks are very much overrated. No one likes rooks. I hear that knights are much trickier, much better, perform better dances, are more trickier than rooks. That's what I heard, and that's what I believe. Oh, I'm gonna keep the faith. Now, so this is my idea, of course, and it is. Check here. Something's happening. This position, it actually feels like I probably got some play here. Okay, let's throw that one in, because we might be able to sacrifice on f5. We can support it with e5. This check we will keep for a better moment in time. Now rook here, queen here, check, takes, king f6, check, king here, and that's as far as I can see. Check f6 here, check. Oh, fucking hell, I wish I could calculate better, guys, but I can't. I cannot. Here, check. I mean, it's only a... Okay, I'm going to go here, weirdly enough, to stop knight e2 checks when my queen comes here, and to give myself some oomph. I'm trying to make this check work, combining with a sacrifice on f5. Very complex situation. So I'm trying to... Okay, I don't think that really affects things too much. So let's go for this now. It's got to be time to die. Now we're going to come in and hope that a knight f5 is the power move. Also, obviously, queen coming in is power move number 1. Okay, now surely there's a mate here. Yeah, there's a mate. I told you, knights are so much better than rooks. Rooks are overrated. Give me a knight any day of the week. Knights, they just slide around. They control all of the squares. They give a little checkmate here and there. King g6, queen h7 is checkmate. Well, that was a fucking ridiculous game, to be frank. Yes, fuck a duck. That was silly. But we ended up on 7 points out of 11. That's not too shabby. That ain't too shabby. Let's just have a look where we finished, because it's nice. I mean, you know, I don't know what I would do without chess, and gives me something to concentrate on. And where do we finish? So 720 players. Where do we start? Where do we begin? Okay, so we're in 87th place on tiebreak. That's all right. I think we're going to take that. Maybe it's top 100 by the end of it. Hikaru's cleaning up as per usual. I mean, how the fuck does he do it so many times? It's unbelievable. What a player. Do subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. I'm going to have a cider and enjoy it. Very much so. And I suggest you do the same, even if it's 8 in the morning. Just drink a cider. Just do it. Why not? I don't encourage alcoholism, but I do encourage random spontaneity. Why not?